Okay, this is going to be relationships number 6. I'm just waking up. And what I want to start with, it is so true that, say, for example, you just, in certain situations, you just cannot cut everybody off. You have children that deal with just very hard behaviors from parents, or parents dealing with children, or the family structures of when you visit and they visit you, or in the workplace, and you want to continue your workplace and just get your job done, and just like that. So, and then you find out it's more worth it to you when you stay in these relationships, or when you don't know that there's a way out, say, for example, when you're young. And so I wanted to touch on that a minute before I go ahead and listen to where I left off with Dr. Mark Gungor, and laugh your way through to a healthier marriage. And so, what was I thinking? I was thinking, and I heard this from more than one person lately, and I've been known this and heard this, but it's pretty hard. I'm going to talk on the side of someone that may be on my level of thinking, or my level. One time I had somebody tell me, well, it's hard to find my own people. Because the reason I bring this up is you have to have what they call a support system. Even if you're going to counseling, even if you're going to marriage therapy, even if you're going to a coach for therapy, you still have to have, because once you walk out of there, what you got? You have nothing. You just have yourself, feeling like you're walking all alone. And so to deal with these type of crazy, you're not supposed to call nobody crazy, but to deal with these type of just behaviors that don't fit your personality, you need a support system. And I totally agree with that. And so when somebody asks me and they say it's hard, I don't be knowing what to say. And I say, I don't know, just, keep going. When you meet people, sometime, you may really like them as far as a friend or someone to talk to, but don't get upset when you find out they are not for you. You keep it moving. Just ease your way up on out of there and keep it moving, and don't beat yourself up and get mad that you liked that person. You opened up and told them certain things. You listened to all of their stuff, but you found out this is definitely someone that you don't need to be around you. And so you just got to keep going. And eventually you find those type of people that are for you. And for me, it has been through my faults. Like, I may have things on me, my body, that I can change and cannot change, and people are still around me. I may talk a certain way. I may get out of character. I may yell, fuss, cuss, but there are people that are still around me through what I may think are faults, but they know and feel who I truly am, and not someone that's hurting them, And so those are the people I give back to, that I know who are honest and genuine. Like, they're not trying to change me. I'm not trying to change them. But we do can talk and have decent conversations and give each other's advice because it's respected, whether we take that advice or not. But it's just someone you could feel better about when you talk about things. And what we call it is I need to air out, or I need to get this off my chest, those type of things. All right, I'll be back. Okay, I want to mention this really quick. So I am going to be my only support group right now because I have no one to mention this to, or I choose not to mention this to anyone, is that, okay, let me start here. It's hard to get it out. So I know in, say, for example, in intimate relationships, having someone right there where you just go, you listen to everything they say, because if you come home and you talk about how your day is totally different, the response you get from them when you talk about your day at work, when you mention certain people or certain situations, they just don't get it. And if they just don't get it, that's just what I just, check the box off as check the little check. They just don't get it. Or it's like, that it's always I don't know what it is. I can't speak for anyone else but myself. But the situation, dealing with other people in relationships on that level, it's like when you don't talk, okay, for example, in the workplace, or you just choose surface level topics to talk about, or you find little things to laugh at to keep the mood going, depending on, like in a large hospital workplace environment, depending on who you're sitting with for that day. And so some people you sit with, or you sit around, or you have in your talking, feeling atmosphere, it's like, it's totally off. I mean, yes, if things go down, even if something was to critically happen, it's like I wouldn't even depend on that person to help. I would go to a whole nother area and find someone else that I know that moves a different way with their brain and their body when it comes to critical stuff. So, but anyway, sometimes people will sit there. It depends on who they are, right? And I know, for example, where their history is, where they come from. And if I've had to put this person in their place, or not, I can't put nobody in their place, but I let them know how I feel about certain things they say and do towards me that I don't like and that I don't appreciate. So now they'll see other people come to me and try me, and they say, and they'll come out and say little things which mean Emily is not for that. She's not about that. You better leave her alone, or something like that, right? But that same person, months down the line, year down the line, they'll come back to me and, they tiptoe, not so much walking on eggshells, but they're tiptoe around me because they want to say something to me so bad. So they stare and they stare and they stare and they look and they watch me, right? And So I try to ignore that. I try to lighten the conversation, make a laughter at something, and just try not to just acknowledge that, right? And so then they get so bold as to, they'll turn, oh gosh, I can't say that because I don't want, you never know. You never know. But they just so bold as to that. And then they start asking you questions. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Why? And so I just look and smile, and all they know to do is smile and just say what they think of why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I just keep my mouth closed. These are times where silence is golden, but I just give the look, like, in other words, I'm not going to answer you. This is getting too long, so I won't be able to do Mark Gungor in this recording. All right. It's 11 minutes. I'm going to close this one. Oh, before I go ahead and close this one out, I do want to say that people like this, back in the day, I would just curse them out and say, what the hell do you mean? Where am I going, or what am I doing? Like, who are you? Like, really, who are you? Monitoring my every move and thinking that you have control over me. And so that's in the workplace. That could be with children. And I won't. I try to explain to people first. But when I know it's like ill intentions, and the way I know it's ill intentions is the way they talk about everybody in a nasty sense. Like if it's something that doesn't measure up to their beauty or measure up to their high standards, or, if so when and that's how they talk about other people all day, 24 hours a day, whenever they're directing conversation, or whenever they are doing work, or it could be just driving in the car with the person or something like that, or walking down the street with the person. Every single word that come out of their mouth is to look at that person over there. Ugh, look at the shoes they got on. Ugh, why do they look like that, walk like that, talk like that, act like that? Ugh, And so those are the type of people, when they come at me, once I hear how they are, or once I've had not so good interactions with them. Back in the day, I would just curse them out and say, leave me alone. Or so now my thing is, as I have grown and gotten older, the cursing out and fighting back against these people, it's not sustainable. What is sustainable is to get sharp, have your own support system in how you come back at them, along with some profound silence. But you have to know when to be silent, when to speak up, but how to speak up in a way that it's creative, in a way that you have some sweet cutthroat remarks, that'll make someone think, why did I say that to this person? I mean, they're never going to reflect on if that's their personality or why they said certain things to you, but it can help to stop them in their tracks sometime.